folks, and welcome to another video on Movie Madness with Maka. And for this one, as you've read the title, I'm just going to be doing a quick movie review on my opinions regarding Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. Now, first of all, flat out, I do have positives and negatives when it comes to this film. But obviously the first positive that I think pretty much anybody, no matter what their opinion of it is that it definitely beats 2017's film. Now, I personally, I had a lot of grudges regarding the 2017 film, but I didn't think it was the worst thing ever made. Because I know a lot of people out there absolutely despise that film, or at least they seem to. But for me, it had some positive elements, but I cannot deny at all, this one definitely worlds ahead. Way better than what we got back then. So, straight into it. So, let's get some of the positives for this particular film out of the way. So, the first one is the action scenes. The action scenes in this film were miles better than what we got from 2017. There were a few that were obviously recycled in, because I would assume that the ones we got in the first one were the scenes that Snyder had actually managed to film back when he first created this one. But what we got in this one was so much better, and I found that a lot of the action scenes that we did get kind of helped with showcasing the individual abilities of each of the, the main heroes, protagonists, whatever you want to call them. Because obviously, in them kind of scenes, you want to be able to see the physicality and what everyone can actually do. And sometimes I felt with 2017's one, either their abilities were played for a joke or played for a laugh, or they were just diminished in certain ways. And I think in this film, it definitely helped to allow people to explore those abilities a hell of a lot better. Now, the next one I'd like to say for this one is more specific to Cyborg than it is to the rest of them, but it covers everyone in a generalization. But we get a lot more backstory and origins information in this one. Again, mainly for Cyborg, because we get to see a little more about his past before he became how he is, and then a little more of a in-depth look at how he became how he is, which I absolutely loved. And I think that the physical effects, the special effects and the physical effects that we used in this one looked, I don't know if it was just me, but it just looked a lot brighter, a lot more visual, a lot more exciting overall. So that's one thing I could definitely credit this one with. The next one I'm going to go specifically with is just a real quick one. Jessie Mamara as Aquaman still continues to be one of the best decisions ever made for this. Now, I know not a lot of people like Aquaman in the comics. I do. I quite love him. I quite like all his stories and things. But I think casting, with the darker tones that they went with this film, casting somebody like Jason Momoa, with the full tattoos and the physicality and everything, absolutely perfect choice. But he's an amazing actor anyway, so I don't see how anyone could really argue with that one. Again, now, the next one, Superman suit, all black. Beautiful decision. Beautiful decision. Because I think in the last one, I like his classic red and blue. But I think given, again, the tone of the film and, what we get when Superman returns in this one and, everything like that, I think the full black look perfectly embodied everything about the new incantation, I think, or reincarnation, whatever the word is I'm missing there. But basically the resurrection of Superman, everything that his character was after the resurrection, I think the all black perfectly suited everything that we had. So the next positive I want to point out, specifically, if you haven't seen the film, then this will be a spoiler, but I'll hopefully add this to the title. The scene that was showcasing Darkseid and his army fighting against the defenders of Earth, which were the Amazons, the Atlanteans, the Lanterns, Maxi Zeus, and I don't know what is just normal mortal man. Basically, every bugger that was living on Earth and protecting it at the time, fighting Darkseid and his army. I think this entire thing looked amazing. I fucking loved the lightning and shit that was coming from Maxi Zeus that was just pure beauty. Like, that was just gorgeous. I just loved how that, it gave me the tingles. I loved it. The solidarity of them all coming together and be able to defeat, this enemy, especially like a midpoint in the film as well. So it was giving us like, a backstory on a backstory. And it helps, when we get towards the end and you see the relation between it all as it goes through the film, it helps like to try to kind of set up, the sequel or potential sequel. Because obviously what with this being, the Snyder Cut only being released because of the fans, I believe anyway, the uproar from the fans. It's like, I don't know if we're going to get a continuation, or we're going to get a trilogy like with the Avengers and things out of this. I hope we do, I really do, fingers crossed. And if so, I think this was a good way to set up the origin for it and, let us know at every step of the way what the hell is happening, which I quite enjoyed. Now, one final positive for this. I'm just looking at my notes down there because I had to make a lot of notes after watching this as to what I liked and didn't like. But I have to say that it's the Martian Manhunter scene right at the end of the epilogue. And whilst the Martian Manhunter's cameo was kind of quick, in specifically his look, I thought it was well designed because it looked a little gritty and I liked that. And I think that the short conversation that him and Bruce were having gave us a nice insight into a continuation for a sequel. Again, should they make one and make this particular film the continuation of it, make this the canon one. Ignore the 2017 version and make this the canon version. And I think that would be fantastic. But now, if there's negatives in a film, I think it's only fair to add them to the review. So if you only wanted to see the positives, you've seen them. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Happy days. If you're here because you want an honest opinion and you want some of my negatives from this, let's do this. So, first of all, The Flash. I have two negatives regarding The Flash on this one. So the first one is just that Ezra Miller, he does a decent job where he can. But personally, I still wish Grant Gustin was playing The Flash. Because I just personally, I think it might just be because I've watched the TV show or used to watch the TV show. That it's like a nostalgia thing that I wanted him. But I feel like he was better embodied for it. But then let's go to the actual character himself. Or one specific scene. I don't think I'm going to be the only one that notices this. But I can't tell how many would. Which is specifically the scene where he's saving Iris West. Now, it's very clear that he's supposed to come over as like a heroic saviour in that moment. But for me, just the way it was filmed between the slow motion, facial effects, and things he was doing, it came across more as perverted and predatory. Like, it seemed more like a stalker that had just gotten his chance to pounce in some sense. I mean, I may be looking into it too much, but it's just... It was an uncomfortable moment real quick. I didn't get quite the heroic saviour feel that I think they were going for on that particular moment. But hey-ho. Right, next couple of negatives. Just a simple one. Would have liked more Darkseid. But again, it's kind of like with the Avengers films where the end credit scenes where we're getting just a snippet of Thanos, a snippet of Thanos, snippet of Thanos, then we get him in the main event. So, possibly, maybe that's what their plan was, similar here, is we just get a bit of Darkseid so we get some backstory, know what he's working with. And then, as we move on, we'll get a little more maybe in the second film, and then in the final one, we'll get the absolute showdown of Darkseid. Maybe that's what they were going for. If so, fair enough. Steppenwolf still looked a little bit weird for me. Just the facially and everything. I don't know what the hell was going on with it. I mean, his design, I do think, was definitely I would say was slightly better than the 2017 one, but there's just something weird about it. I'm not feeling it. Just wanted to put that one out there straight away. Okay, pretty much covered everything there. So the only couple more I have left is that it took them about 2.5 hours estimated to get around to Superman. And not everything that came before Superman coming back into the game was particularly necessary, which leads me to just my final negative. This movie did not need to be 4 hours long. There was I would estimate, snipping here and there, we could have cracked an hour off it at least. We could have cracked an hour off. 3 hours would have been perfect. Now, luckily, I took a free trial on Now TV to watch this, so I haven't had to pay to see it, which is happy days. Just, I'm British, when we can get shit for free, we do it. But yeah, I'd say that whilst a lot of the new footage was very enjoyable and definitely helped to advance the story, and definitely made it more enjoyable as a comic book fan to watch this, there was definitely at least an hour that could have been removed, snippet by snippet. Like, for example, Barry applying for that job at the pet place. I know that was a convenient way to put him in position for saving Iris West, but I'm pretty sure I just said Irish again. Iris West, they've got to change that name. But they could have easily removed that element. Like, and then there's like a minute of just seeing a bloody driver drop a burger and bending down to pick it up, which is what caused the crash that nearly killed Iris before he saved her. All of that, them little bits there, the fumbling and everything, definitely did not need to be part of this. But I might just be being nitpicky on that, but there's just so much that could have been trimmed for me from that. And then just little bits and bobs here and there, little snippets of conversation, little tiny teasers and things. It's just there was probably 30 minutes to an hour definitely that could have been trimmed off. But again, that might just be nitpicky. That's just me as a fan. But this was my overall, as jumbled as it is, my overall review for this film. So let's just capitalise towards the end. So like I say, definitely better than the first film. I would, if you've got the patience for 4 hours, because admittedly, it doesn't feel like it's 4 hours for the most part. There are points where it starts to feel like it's dragging a bit, and it's like, you just feel like, oh, maybe I should just skip a few minutes ahead and see if anything good's happening. But luckily, they aren't as frequent as you would think in a film of this length. This is definitely the longest film I've ever seen. I haven't seen The Irishman yet, so this is the longest film I've ever seen. But yeah, overall, I would say it is worth checking out if you have, HBO Max in America or whatever the hell they used in Australia. I've forgotten the name of it. Or Now TV / Sky Cinema here in the UK. It's worth checking out. Especially as a comic book fan. If you're going into it just for an action film, you're going to get a lot of action, but it may not be the right thing for you. That's all I can really say on that one. But hey ho, I've waffled on for like 14-15 minutes now, so I don't want to do the same thing that they did in the bloody film and make it just a little too long than it needed to be. So until next time, folks, because that's everything I had for you on this one. Stay safe, have a good day, and of course, that's not what I wanted to say there. I just realised I was doing the outro for one of my other channels, so let's try that again. Stay safe, have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, or whatever the hell it is, wherever the hell you are. Movie Madness, Maka out.